Morning, everybody. Welcome to Introduction to HTML. The idea of this is for people who don't know HTML at all, or you know a very little bit, and you want to learn it. This is not really for people who are already using it, already familiar. Web developers have been asking if they should come to this. No, you know this stuff. This is a basic.
Should I leave? Yes.
No, you could go all the way around.
We're crawling under the table.
Glad I could help.
Keeping me in line.
Yep.
So, to give you a little bit of an introduction, first of all, to HTML, you've all surfed the web, you're all familiar with the idea of hypertext, which is how the web is different from books. And when you're reading a book, you start on page 1 and you go to page 2 and then you go to page 3 and so on. And somebody tells you you want to look up a specific topic, they tell you go to page 75. In the web, instead, you're clicking around on links, and that's how you get from a page. You click on a word that you like, and it jumps you to a completely different area, and so there isn't this sequence anymore of going from one to the next. And in the early days, we used words like web page to communicate that that's what it was like, to sort of show the similarity to books. And these days, web applications is becoming a more common term because they are so interactive and so technological. And this is if anybody doesn't know Kelly, this is Kelly from Data Team. Just provided some monkey bread this morning.
Which one more of these things will work that way? Yep.
Oh, she brought two here, yeah?
So in the letters HTML, there is HT. It's hypertext markup language. It is a method of taking the same text that you would find in a book or anywhere else and applying tags to it that provide markup that is both descriptive of how it should look, but also structural of breaking down what the components of the page are. So at its essence, HTML is just ordinary text with certain tags applied. I mean, you can think of it in those terms. There's nothing magical about it. It's not computer code that actually does anything. When you go to something like Visit Florida, you can go to any page on the web and click View Source to see the HTML. You go to a site like Visit Florida that's very complex, and you're going to wind up with a great deal of JavaScript at the top and a lot of really complicated code. So don't be intimidated by that. It all does make sense. Or you can go to a very simple page and click View Source, and there's only a little bit here. I'll go over just about everything that's here today. But this is one screen's worth. That's the entirety of it. Yes. HTML, how it fits into the web overall. When you make a request for an HTML page to a server, you're the user. You type in your browser you want to go to whatever. Say you're going to this page. You make a request to the web server sends back a block of HTML. They send what I just showed on the screen, which is just static code, and your browser renders that. It takes that and it shows that information on the screen, and it's capable of parsing that information. It doesn't do anything. It's not really interactive. If you want to start adding effects to it, you can use JavaScript, which is called post-processing. That runs here on the computer itself. It's instructions that gets downloaded with the HTML, and it pulls off effects here. In this case, this is something that was set up for Visit Florida for the Governor's Conference. It's showing little Twitter updates and Flickr photos here, and it's based on JavaScript and Flash. And all of this is running right here on the computer, so if you put in too much Flash or too much JavaScript, it can start to bog down the end user's computer. PHP and languages like PHP are pre-processing. They come in before that. They're actually run on the server. So in the case of a PHP document, you're making a request to the server that is going to actually execute a script, and it's going to actually do things that are intelligent. It's capable of, looking at the server clock and saying, well, it's Friday, so let's do something different. Or it's, somebody's logged in and it's capable of reading that cookie and treating the user differently. And then ultimately what it does is output HTML that comes to your screen here, and you see something on the screen. And does anybody have any questions about how pre-processing and HTML and post-processing fit together? Okay, good. All HTML is constructed with 3 simple characters. Everybody see this okay?
Yep.
Back. You have greater than, so well, actually that's a less than symbol. you have a forward slash, and you have a greater than symbol. All HTML is constructed with just these symbols. All HTML tags are usually composed of pairs of these, one that opens and one that closes the tag. So for instance, a bold tag would be a very simple example of it. Bold is the letter B. So you use bracket B bracket to begin the tag, and bracket slash B bracket to close the tag. These same pairs will appear over and over again no matter how many tags you use. The tags just pull off different effects. Every once in a while you'll meet a tag that differs from these, and I'll get into which ones do, but almost all of them follow this same format. So let's take this very simple HTML page. Right now, as I said at the beginning, this HTML is just text. That's all it is. So I've saved this HTML document here on the computer, and here on the screen we're rendering it. It's just text. There's nothing fancy about it. You didn't think there was going to be a quiz, did you?
Hell. If I would have known, it was all there.
So go ahead and make the word fox bold, would you?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
All you have to do, you have the open tag and you have the closed tag.
How does it know? To make it bold.
It reads it.
Folks, sorry about that.
Oh, that's true. You can make it brown if you want to.
Well, it's like a predefined set of rules, right? The
Maybe,
browsers
yeah,
know that
that's what
that
it was.
tag always means bold.
Right.
So
it's
it's like programmed into the browser.
It's
witchcraft. It's witchcraft.
Well, that's what the browser does. They have rendering engines that recognize how to do that, and it's a little hard to see on this monitor, but the word fox is now bold.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Very simple. They have rendering engines, and that's actually one of the problems facing web developers is different browsers render differently. The basics like this are always going to be consistent, but the more advanced things, Internet Explorer tends to deviate, but honestly all of them deviate a little bit from each other. So another common one is italics. Go ahead, and you won't be the only one getting tested here, so everybody get ready. Yep, italics is letter I. Very simple.
Wow. Yeah.
I did that!
You're already doing it. And a couple of other basic ones are underline, it's letter U. And why don't you make a strike through on the letter dog, which is letter S.
What?
Over on the letter S, why don't you give it on the letter dog, or the word dog. I'm sorry, I'm very sleepy today.
It's good learning.
Yes, it's a little early for me.
That?
Yep. And then slash S. So there we go, we have underline fox and strike through dog. And so far we're just applying these tags to words, a single word at a time. You can apply it to just one letter, you can apply it to a line, you can apply it to as much or as little as you like. It starts and ends there. Properly formed HTML says that tags should be nested inside of each other, and so if a word is both bold and italicized, then you should have bold, italics, and a bold. You shouldn't intermix them or get the order mixed up.
Is there any
Oh.
sequence that's preferred?
No.
You can do it either way.
But the idea of not messing up the order of what order you start them in and what order you end them in is that you come back to edit it later and you put in additional tags, and it starts getting really hard to figure out where it ends. And suddenly you've got like the rest of the page italicized because you've missed a slash I.
So the idea is that you always you just pick up the word, right? You put in the beginning and then at the end. You don't do it at the end of the paragraph, that's what you're saying?
Right.
He's saying you have to do it in the same order. So
Same order.
you start with a B and then I, you have to end with I and B.
Right.
That's
That's
So
perfectly
totally
fine.
opposite.
Right. In fact, if you would please take off the slash right here and just make it a U. And that's what happens when you miss a simple character like that, is you're going to wind up going
Oops.
everything on from that point forward because you're not ending the tag.
So it'll
So-
go all the way to
Right.
the slash. It's all the way.
So these elements are the basics of HTML. These are tags. You may hear them called elements in HTML, but that's really all it is.